Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I am back in the car again. It feels like for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Typically not in a car, but again, sometimes I got to juggle different projects, you all, right? We're all juggling. So I just came from an amazing event for teenagers with the Ryan Neese Foundation that I'm on the board of. And I wanted to obviously jump on here and do Mental Health Moment with you guys. So I am in the car right now. But for those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, welcome back. Let me know in the chat here where you're tuning in from today. For those of you who are new, I do reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Right now I'm in Pinellas Park area of Florida, if you're familiar with Florida. But again, thanks for those who are starting to tune in here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Felt like in the last couple of weeks, things have been a little busy Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So of course I'm here in the car again with you all. But nonetheless, mental health moment will keep going on, right? But thanks to those who are starting to join here. I see San Francisco's in the house. Welcome. Pontiac, Michigan. I don't think I've been to that part of Michigan. But welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Saginaw, Michigan. We got a lot of Michigan people today. Jacksonville, Florida. Another Jacksonville, Florida. You guys must be hanging out. But welcome, welcome. Miami's in the house. Memphis, Tennessee's in the house. Thanks so much for joining you all. And Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, if you guys are new to Mental Health Moment, just know, so the first Tuesday, which of course is today, the first Tuesday of every month is devoted to specifically to our youth, because there's so much happening in the world when it comes to youth mental health, as we know, especially over this COVID-19 pandemic here. Belize is in the house. Welcome. Delaware is in the house. Another person from Michigan. Michigan is super, super popular tonight, it seems like. From Ghana, but in Cuba right now. Welcome, welcome. Chi-Town's in the house. California. So welcome so much. Again, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you are tuning into the YouTube replay, welcome as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video on Dr. Nekeshiahm on YouTube. But thanks so much again, Houston, Texas in the house. Thanks so much for you all who have joined today. So again, today's the first Tuesday of the month, specifically devoted to children's mental health. What I wanted to share with you briefly, because again, I am in the car today, not driving, but what I want to share with you briefly on today's mental health moment is just a reminder. I've been doing a lot of research lately related to different mental health topics on some projects I'm working on. And what I've been finding resoundingly, like in the research, you all, is that, and we take this for granted, but like connection and social support is so, so important for our youth, you all. It's important for us too as adults. It's important for everybody, but we're talking about youth today, and it's so important. Like, we're taking for granted how much a compliment can save a kid's life, how much just being there can save a kid's life, how much showing someone you care like is saving lives right now. Like we are so taking that for granted. And I know that as a psychologist and all the work that I've done over all these years. January will be 15 years, you guys, which is crazy when I think about it, because I'm like, man, I don't know, I'm still feeling kind of young. But these years are creeping up with this experience of being a psychologist. But it's almost 15 years, and I've definitely heard a lot of stories, a lot of stories from families, a lot of stories from the community. But also, again, even with the research, you all, like, it's so important. And I want to remind you of that today, whether you're a parent, whether you're a grandparent, aunt, uncle, a kid in your life in whatever capacity that children, if like the little things you do are making an impact. The social support that you can give, the connection that you can give, the piece of advice, just being a listening ear, like in whatever capacity you can serve. Maybe you're a community member, and you don't have any kids, which is fine, but you're helping kids or youth in some way. Just know that the little things are counting. Like, they really just are. Do we need big things? Do we need big programs and therapy and medication and all these other things? Yes, of course. We need a lot of things to help youth, but we're forgetting about how powerful we are as communities. So it just really was on my heart. And like I said, all the research that I've been looking at lately to share this with you and remind you of that. Because one of the questions I get a lot with a lot of the media consultations I get is like, how do we help kids? How do we help kids? What do we do? Right. And again, I know, we already know mental health, there's a stigma of mental health. There's a lot of kids that are not going to get therapy. There's a lot of kids that are not going to get medication. Some kids and families can't afford it. Some kids and family don't believe in it. Like, I can go on and on of the reasons, you all, but like, I don't know about you all, but as a mom, as a psychologist, as a community member, like, I'm tired of just hearing the same old stories when it comes to kids, instead of us as a community, like, stepping up and be like, you know what? How can I help? Right? Like, we can't just be like, oh, we don't have money for this. Oh, we don't have time for this. Oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, we need more funding. We need more programs. Like, yes, we do. But in the meantime, you all, we have an opportunity to make sure that we're checking in with kids. We have an opportunity to make sure that we're connecting in some way with kids that we're around. Again, there's the little things that you do. It adds up. It really just does. And someone said in the comments here, the problem is we're the only ones trying. The parents at home feel like it's nothing wrong. And you know what? Here's the reality. So whoever, well, I can see your name, but I'm not going to say on the live. But for that person who said that, like, sometimes you feel, I listen, I'm in the mental health field. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes you feel, you don't even have to be in the mental health field, but sometimes you can feel like you're the only person trying. And that's absolutely true. And that's absolutely valid to feel that way. But I strongly want to remind you, if every single one of us had that attitude, though, and we're like, well, we're the only ones trying. What about the parents? What about the teachers? What about the school system? What about the course system? You all, again, 15 years in January 2024 will be 15 years that I've been in private practice as a psychologist. I've seen a whole lot. And I had experience before that when I was in school. I've seen the system, the school system, and the court system, and the hospital system, and all the systems, right? We can talk about how bad all these systems are. Like, we could talk about that for hours, for days. However, though, we have to just do our part. So that's why I urge you. This is supposed to be mental health moment, but I think I feel like it's turning into an urge and a plea to you all. And I'm kind of pleading to you all because it's it's so dire sometimes. Like, again, I did a lot of research for a project that I'm working on coming up, and I'm like, man, this some of these numbers are so dismal. And it's not just all about the statistics, but at the same time, we can't completely ignore the statistics because they're the fact of the matter is that kids are suffering because of the matter of fact that kids are dealing with the depression and the anxiety and the self-harm and the suicidal thoughts, and all these things are happening, and some of it can be prevented if we step in as a community and do what we can we help every single person, every single person on the planet? No, of course not. But we can do as much as we can, as much as you have the bandwidth to do, and help within your communities. We absolutely have an opportunity to do that. And when I say within your communities, it can literally be your next door neighbor. It could be, like I said, your friends' kids. It could be your family, your friends, your neighbor, place of worship. Maybe they're looking in whatever capacity you can serve and you can help. Trust me, those little things add up and they can help. Um, Someone said, "Oh, I love that." Someone said, "I contributed to the Boris L. Henson Mental Health Foundation, named after Taraji P. Henson's deceased father when she was 1 year old." Beautiful. You know what? Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that because first of all, it's a great foundation. I've gone to one of her events and I know about that foundation. It's a great foundation, but also there's different ways you can contribute when it comes to youth, right? So for some of you, it may be your time. You need to invest your time in, again, speaking to a parent that may need help and assistance or listening ear, whatever it is. For some of you, it's directly with a child. For some of you, you may be like, I don't know any kids around me, but I care about kids. I care about our future, right? The future of where we're going as a society. So it may be dollars. You may want to donate to a foundation or an organization helping youth, right? So it's your time, it's your talent, it's your treasure, it's your connections. There's a lot of ways that we can be helping kids, but I just strongly want to share this message with you all today that we can't just live in a state of just finger pointing and blaming these different systems. And there's a lot of things we need a lot more mental health professionals. We need a lot more education. We need a lot, but we can't just stop and say we need a lot and not do anything, right? So that's why I urge you today to think about how can you help. Someone says, I am in to help kids. my dear friends. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, in whatever way you're able to, you all know, I don't know what's going on in your personal life, but you all know where your bandwidth is. You all know what you're able to do, again, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and whatever way it is for you, you know what you can contribute, right? I don't know the answer to that, but whatever it is you can do, then you do it. All right. Um, yep. And yeah, someone, I'm just reading some of your comments here. Just someone just saying like their son was hurting, for a couple years, and they felt that they couldn't help their child. And here's the thing. So on top of the community, right? We have to help each other as a community, but also if you hear this message and you know someone that is in need, they might need a mental health professional. So again, I'm not here to say that no one needs therapy. Of course, that would be ideal. But the reality is, which I know because I've been in the field, you all, and I know you all know too, there's just a lot of barriers sometimes, unfortunately. So the community, if we could rally together as a community, it can really make a bigger difference for our youth. But nonetheless, if you do need a mental health professional, if you're in the US, for example, you can reach out to the American Psychological Association and follow up with them and get a counselor or a psychologist in your area by zip code. If you're outside of the country, depending on what country you live in, mental health looks different. I've been looking at some global studies and speaking to people throughout the world, frankly, and I love to hear the different perspectives. And frankly, mental health just looks different depending on what community and what country you're in. So you know what's best. I know this is a global community here. You know what's best within your community. So, in whichever way that you can be involved in something that helps youth, again, I don't want to just speak from my US based lived experience, if you will. I know that it looks different, but however you can support a healthy child emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, in that way, then do your best to do that and utilize the resources that are around you. Um, and someone else said, "Oh, absolutely." Someone said they're going to graduate in December. Would love to connect. Awesome. By the way, congratulations to that person that's about to graduate. And yeah, for those of you who want to connect, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on most often, or Facebook, Dr. Nekeshiahm, and I'm on pretty much every platform because I'm usually sharing some type of mental health resource because this is my passion. In case you couldn't tell, I've been doing this for a very long time. But the fact is, there's a lot of prevention that can happen when we work together as a community, when we share the information, you all. So yes, I'll just leave it at that. I was going to talk for 3 more hours about sharing information, but it's really critical right now, especially in mental health, to be sharing reputable information with others and resources. Um, oh, you're absolutely welcome. So I am going to, because as you guys probably can see, it's getting dark here where I'm at. Um, but I am going to hop off the slide. But what I want you to do again, feel free if you have any questions, you can actually again, or if you need any resources, I should say, close to your area, I'll do my best to connect you with them. Reach out on social, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter are my most common ones, or dr.nekeshiahm.com if you have any mental health um, if you have any mental health related questions. There's resources on my page as well. If you guys thanks for coming, you're welcome. If you guys have any questions again related to children's mental health, there's a lot more reputable resources. American Psychological Association, as I mentioned, NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, also has great resources. There are really great reputable resources out there, but I share this because I want to remind you that you have to, though, utilize those resources, share those resources with the individuals in your life who work with kids, have kids, parenting kids, friends of kids, or whomever it is for this to work, right? Yes, thank you. So again, if you need me, dr.nekeshiahm.com, but I will be back. I can't think of my schedule next Tuesday, probably not in a car. But I'll be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have an amazing week, you all. Be blessed, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.